Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we are over here at Universal Orlando Resort. We are actually here at Islands of Adventure, and today we are going to be doing a first-timer guide to Islands of Adventure. I've done one of these before for Universal Studios Florida. I've also done some of these for some of the stuff over at Walt Disney World, but today we're doing Islands of Adventure. If you haven't seen the first-timer guide to Universal Studios Florida, check that out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And if you haven't seen my comparison video between Universal Studios Florida versus Islands of Adventure, I'll leave a link to that if you want to watch that as well. Just a quick little background to Islands of Adventure. Islands of Adventure opened in May of 1999, so it's just 23 years old. And comparison to Universal Studios Florida, Universal Studios Florida kind of takes you behind the scenes of the movies, whereas over here at Islands of Adventure, it's more taking you into the movies to experience it for yourself. First thing that we see here at Islands of Adventure is of course the entrance to the park, where we see the big icon of this park, which is this lighthouse, which has the Islands of Adventure logo on it. And then of course we have all of the booths where you can purchase your tickets. If you are traveling with any children who want to see how tall they are, see if they can get on certain rides, you can come over here to this board and they can check all of their heights right here to see which rides they can get on and which rides they're a little bit too small for. And then you come right here to the front entrance gates, and this is where you'll scan your ticket to head into the park. And then the first land that we see is this entrance point right here. This is called the port of entry, and over here is going to be basically a lot of gift shops, and it's just your introduction to Islands of Adventure. Over here is where we will have the guest services and information, as well as first aid. The big shop over here at Islands of Adventure is right here, the Islands of Adventure Trading Company. So a really nice, wide, big shop, and this is probably the biggest shop that you will find here at Islands of Adventure. It's also themed really nice in here. You got some huge dinosaurs hanging up, as well as some other adventurous types of things. And then just continuing down, basically this whole pathway is just gonna be shops. So nothing too special about this land, but I really do love the way it's themed over here. There's lots of trees. The buildings are themed really cool. There's a lot of hidden stuff to see over here in the port of entry. So when you're over here in this land, make sure that you are looking up at the buildings, because there's some cool things that you might not notice. If you are hungry, the first thing when you get into this park, there is a couple of options for you. Right here to the right, this is a bakery. This is the Crescent Moon Bakery. This is only open for breakfast and lunch, however, from 8 a.m. to 2, but it is connected with a bigger restaurant. This is the Confisco Grill. And opposite side of the Confisco Grill right here is something that all theme parks have and pretty much everybody needs, is the Starbucks coffee. So Starbucks location for Islands of Adventure is right here in the port of entry, the main area. And pretty much once we pass the port of entry, and we can finally see the entirety of Islands of Adventure pretty much. We can see down to the end of the other side of the park. We can go left, we can go right. But actually something cool to check out is this, all the way straight, all the way past the port of entry. There's some cool spots to hang out and kind of relax. And from over here we can get some great views of the entire park. So Islands of Adventure is set up more as a traditional theme park, kind of in a circular shape, besides Universal Studios, which is a very strange shape. So from the port of entry over here, we can either go left into Marble Superhero Island, or we can go right into Seuss Landing. Right now we're gonna go left and make our way around the park clockwise. All right, so from this point right here, we're about to turn left and head into Marble Superhero Island. Quick thing, there is a Cinnabon if you like some cinnamon rolls in the morning or something. But as you can tell, the first thing that we see over here when we enter Marble Superhero Island is this huge green roller coaster, and you hear the people screaming. This is the Incredible Hulk. This roller coaster is very popular and it's very intense. If you do want to ride this roller coaster, you will need to put all of your belongings in a locker, because nothing is allowed on this ride. You will be going through metal detectors when you enter the show building. The lockers are free. All you have to do is scan your park ticket and you can get a locker. Also, right next to the Incredible Hulk is another attraction. This is called the Storm Force Accelerator. Pretty cool ride. It's kind of like a carnival ride. A lot of kids who don't really want to go on the Hulk might like this one. It's a little bit thrilling, but not super crazy like the Hulk. And then from that back section over here where we do have the Hulk and the Storm Force acceleration rides, we do have the Fantastic Four Cafe, which is located right here. It's going to be your first like quick service restaurant that you'll see over here in Marvel Superhero Island. And you will find while you're walking over here in Marvel Superhero Island, it's very, very busy over here. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's going to be superheroes meeting everywhere. We can see Storm and Rogue over there from the X-Men, as well as Wolverine's over there meeting right in front of the arcade. So any fans of superheroes, especially Marvel fans, you will definitely like this land, Marvel Superhero Island. Just look up at the buildings, you'll see a bunch of characters. Like here's Kingpin, I see the Hobgoblin over there. And this land does have a lot of shops. And there's shops on both sides. They're all pretty much very similar. They all carry the same sorts of things. You might find some more specific superhero items, like in the shop that's right next to the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, which is a really cool ride, by the way. It's a 4D style ride where you go with Spider-Man through an adventure through New York City to try to stop some of his greatest villains. Also straight down this path, kind of between the Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man and the arcade to the left, is Dr. Doom's Fearfall. We can see it straight down this way, and it's basically a ride that shoots you up and kind of go down. So like I said, Marvel Superhero Island is very crowded, but if you want to get away from the crowds in this land, just come to the very back, and there's actually some space over here where you can get some good views of the entire park and get away from some of the crowds. Down towards the back of this land, there is actually another quick service spot. It's the Captain America Diner, just right here. It's going to serve basically the same stuff as the other one. It's specialized in the all-American burgers, since it is for Captain America. And then making our way into our next land from the Marvel Superhero Island, we will enter Toon Lagoon. Now Toon Lagoon is just what it sounds like. It contains characters from some of the oldest cartoons and comics back in the day. Coming past through the main area, we do have some like arcade style games that you can pay for to try and win some prizes. We've also got a few restaurants and shops down this main aisle over here, and if we look up, kind of like in Marvel Superhero Island, we can see some of these characters on their comic strips. And actually right here we do have the Comic Strip Cafe, which is a quick service style restaurant right next to Kathy's Ice Cream, which sells some, of course, ice cream. Across from there, we do have the main shop that is over here in Toon Lagoon. This is a really cool place if you want to take some pictures, some selfies with some of this architecture that they have over here. Kids love to come play over here. There's a whole Betty Boop store. I really don't know any of these characters. I believe these are like really old comic strips that you find in like newspapers or something. But actually over here we do have another quick service restaurant. This is Blondie's, home of the Dagwood, which specializes in deli sandwiches and subs. In this land, Toon Lagoon, we don't really have too many rides or attractions. We actually just have two. The first thing is we pass Popeye right here. Down this way we have Popeye's Bilge Rat Barges, which is a water ride. Actually the other ride over here is a water ride as well. We're gonna come check this one out first. Now these are definitely not your average water rides that you'll find at other theme parks. When you come on these rides, Popeye's Bilge Rat Barges, as well as the other one, which we'll see in a little while, Dudley Do-Right Ripsaw Falls, you will come out of here completely soaked from head to toe. No part of you will be dry. These rides get you absolutely drenched. So if you're thinking that you might just get a little bit wet, no, you will get completely soaked. There is actually dryers, human dryers that you can step into to try and dry off, but believe me, they don't really work that well. So unless you're prepared to be fully drenched, don't get on these rides. Back here in this area, there's actually another quick service restaurant. This is called Wimpy's. So one thing that Islands of Adventure has that not a lot of theme parks have is they have a ton of quick service restaurants here. Something that not a lot of people might know is that you can actually come back here in the back of the Popeye and Bluto's Bilge Rat Barges. We actually see some of the human dryers that people are using after they come off the ride. But if you have any kids that want to take a break and, you know, play a little bit, get some energy out, there is Me Ship the Olive, which is just basically a playground for little kids to come and explore. Also in this area, of course, you might see some characters walking around, like there's Popeye walking walking back there to his ride. But let's come this way because this is where the other ride is. This is Dudley Do-Right Ripsaw Falls. This is a log flume style ride, but this one will get you just as wet as Popeye and Bluto's Bill Drap barges. And that is essentially the end of Toon Lagoon. So just those two rides, and then from there we'll continue down. We're going to be entering kind of a weird area. It doesn't really have its own land, but there is an attraction. You can tell we're entering this jungle area. And over here to the left we see some trucks going by that are carrying some people going through this weird temple thing. And because this attraction right here is called Skull Island Reign of Kong. So this is for all the fans of King Kong out there. Now this is not a roller coaster. It's mostly a simulation ride. It does have some physical elements, but it can be scary for little kids. And as once we pass Skull Island Reign of Kong, we are officially in Jurassic Park. Now Jurassic Park's probably my favorite area here at Islands of Adventure. Over here to the left we do have another quick service restaurant. This is the Thunder Falls Terrace. Jurassic Park is a great area for, you know, adults, kids, and people who want to have some thrill. From this pathway that we enter Jurassic Park, we follow it down. There's actually a rock climbing thing that you can do. It's 15 bucks. Try to climb the wall. But actually, if we come back in this area, we can get some great views of one of the attractions over here in Jurassic Park. This is a Jurassic Park River Adventure, and the boats actually come right through here. And if you stand down this way, you're gonna get soaked. Watch. So if you do want to get wet and don't really want to go on a ride, just stand back over here and you will get wet. And for little kids in this area, if we just go this way, we're going to head into Camp Jurassic, which is an area for kids to explore, climb, discover, and do some slides. There's also an attraction over here. It's called the Pterodon Flyers, which is right here. The weird thing about this attraction is that you have to have a kid accompanying you to ride this ride. So I couldn't go on this ride by myself. I would need a kid or a guest between the ages of 36 and 56 inches to ride. But other than that, Camp Jurassic is pretty much just a big playground for kids to see kids running on top over there. A lot of cool places to explore over here. It's actually pretty cool. There's a lot of shade. So because the Pterodon Flyers, you have to have a kid accompanying you, it is one of the only attractions that I have not been on here at Universal. All right guys, keeping it moving down from that area, if we keep following the path, we will run into the Jurassic Park River Adventure. It's the ride that we saw the boats coming down over there. This is my favorite water ride here at Universal. You don't really get super soaked with this ride. You get wet to the point where it actually feels comfortable outside. Across from the River Adventure, we start to see some of the track to the best roller coaster in my opinion that I've ever been on, which is the Velocicoaster. So we can see the track. You can see the train going by in the track, kind of giving us a preview of what is just around the corner. But before we get to the entrance of the Velocicoaster, we have a few things left over here in this land. The first thing is Raptor Encounter, which is one of the coolest character encounters you can do at any theme park, really. It's a really lifelike Velociraptor from the Jurassic World movie franchise. But right next to Raptor Encounter, we do have another quick service restaurant. This is the Pizza Predatoria. And then the last thing that we see before the Velocicoaster is this building right here, which is the Jurassic Park Discovery Center. It's actually a pretty cool place. Over here to the right, we do have the Burger Digs quick service restaurant. We do have a shop over here to the left. But then downstairs, the Discovery Center portion, we do have some areas where we can learn about dinosaurs and see some cool skeletons. Like right here, we see this T-Rex skeleton. And they do have some merchandise down at the bottom as well as some spots to hang out and kids to go run around and stuff. And then finally, from our way down, we finally reached the Velocicoaster entrance. We actually got to come through over here, through this jungle area. We are greeted by these two Velociraptors up here, and then we see the track coming overhead. Cool thing about this roller coaster is you can stand right under the track. You can get pretty close to it and watch the trains go by. And the entrance to the Velocicoaster is all the way down this way. This area to hang out in is really nice though. This is one of my favorite areas to hang out and kind of just watch the roller coaster go by. hear all the people screaming, and you can actually get into the Discovery Center from right here, the place where we just were. And like I mentioned a little while ago, the Velocicoaster is my favorite roller coaster I've ever been on. This is the best ride in my opinion in all of Universal Orlando Resort. It's super smooth, super fun roller coaster, multiple launches. It is very intense though, so if this is your first roller coaster, I wouldn't recommend this as a first roller coaster, but for the people who love thrill, who love roller coasters, definitely you got to get on this. So the next land that we are going to go to is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogwarts, and Hogsmeade. Cool thing about this area where we are right now, Jurassic Park by the Velocicoasters, we can use this bridge to skip that land entirely and go to a different section of the park, because the Wizarding World is extremely busy, a lot of crowds over there. So if you wanted to, you could use this bridge right here by the Velocicoaster to skip all that, but right now we're gonna head back this way and go through that land. All right, so as we do exit Jurassic Park, we do enter the Wizarding World of Harry Potter here at Islands of Adventure, which contains Hogwarts. Over here to the left we see the big Hogwarts castle, and then Hogsmeade over here to the right, this snow covered area. We'll come over here to the left first toward Hogwarts, because inside of the Hogwarts castle is a ride, and this is Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey. And just across from that ride is actually the Flight of the Hippogriff, which is a good ride for kids. This is kind of a kiddie roller coaster. It's pretty slow, it's actually really short, so first timers that want to get on a roller coaster, never been on one, this is a good one for them to go on. As I mentioned, this land, Wizarding World of Harry Potter, is extremely packed all the time. It's very small walkways, so the crowds seem to be very heavy over here all day long. In this area throughout the day, you will see some performances like musical acts right here on this stage. Now that we've seen Hogwarts, we're gonna head towards the Hogsmeade area. There are these butterbeer stands throughout the land. There is actually some inside the quick service restaurant, but butterbeer is very popular, so you will be waiting in line for a little bit. But this Hogsmeade area is where you're gonna find a lot of the different shops, a lot of the different Harry Potter shops where you can buy wands and specific things from the movies that you have seen. Also, if you do want to purchase a wand, you can come around the area and do some magic wand tricks. I don't really know what to call it, and you can actually activate certain cool things in the windows. And also, you know, just explore all the shops around here, because these shops are really well done, especially for those Harry Potter fans out there. You'll really like it over here if you've never been before. And actually down here to the right side, we do have the quick service restaurant in this area. This is the Three Broomsticks. It is the only quick service restaurant here in this land, but actually opposite side of that is the most popular attraction in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter here at Islands of Adventure. This is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Probably the second best to ride here at Islands of Adventure, just behind the Velocicoaster. Before that opened, this one was the best. So yeah, definitely make sure you try to get on Hagrid's ride. Hagrid's coaster here. It always does have a long wait though. And then from Hagrid's, we do see the Hogwarts Express train. This isn't actually where you get the train, the actual Hogwarts Express. You actually have to come over here to the Hogsmeade station. This will transport you to London King's Cross, aka this will take you to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter over in Universal Studios, Florida. So it transports you from park to park. You do have to have the multiple park per day pass to get on here though. And then from there, we will have entered into a different land called the Lost Continent. So we're out of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter into a completely different land now. And as of right now, there really isn't a whole lot to do in this land. There's mostly shops. There's a couple of restaurants over here. Right now in this shop, there is a All Hallows Voodoo Boutique. And there's actually a kebab place right here, a quick service spot to get some kebabs, as well as some shops that just specialize in selling, you know, mythical, medieval type things. But overall, there really isn't a whole lot to do in the Lost Continent. There is another quick service here, Fire Eater's Grill. You might see some characters out and about. I see the lemur from Madagascar right over there. Really, the two main things to do here is they have a restaurant, a big restaurant called Mythos Restaurant. It's supposed to be awarded the best theme park restaurant in the world. That's what it says. And then opposite side from that, we do have the only attraction here. It's not really an attraction, it's more of a show. called Poseidon's Fury, Escape from the Lost City. So you kind of go through this show and it shows you some cool special effects. It's actually a really impressive building if you just take a look at it. And then from there, that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot to the Lost Continent, but we are entering the final land here at Islands of Adventure, which is Seuss Landing. It's very highly themed, of course, to the imagination of Dr. Seuss. We got things like moose juice, goose juice, which specializes in ices and drinks like that. A bunch of different cool stores around here. Honk honkers, sweet candy cookers. These all have some crazy candies that you might find in the world of Dr. Seuss. So I think a lot of kids will like this land, the Seuss Landing. During the holiday season, this transforms into Hula Day Spectacular, which is a really cool thing. All the Who's come out from Whoville. There's a big show with the Grinch. It takes you through the story. So if you do get the opportunity to come for the holiday season, make sure you come visit Seuss Landing. We do have a couple of attractions over here though. Right here we have the High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train ride, and this is a ride that takes you on the track above Seuss Landing. You can get some pretty cool shots of all around. In this land, of course, you're gonna find a lot of characters. Right here, I don't know if you can see, but the Grinch is out and about meeting some guests right now. All over here, we do have a big quick service. This is the Circus McGurkus Cafe Stupendous. Directly across from there, it's covered up with some scrim, but usually this is a carousel. And then we do have one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, which is a Dumbo style ride. And then the last attraction in this land is the Cat in the Hat attraction. It's a dark ride which takes you through basically the story of the Cat in the Hat. And essentially that's it for Seuss Landing. And then when we come over here, we'll make our way to where we were when we started the video. And we end up right back over here at the port of entry. And so there you have it. That's pretty much all of Islands of Adventure. I showed you guys first timer guide to Islands of Adventure. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like I said, I have other first timer guides on my channel. I have ones for Universal, for Disney. So if you are new and you're coming over here to Orlando, go check those out. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the content, leave it a like down below. Hit that subscribe button as well so you can keep up with all the new videos that I put out. Thank y'all very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.